Thank you for your time today, Hunter, and for completing the diet diary. If it's okay with you, I'd like to review what I found, discuss how your diet may be affecting your oral and overall health, and make some recommendations moving forward.
Sure.
Great. Based on my assessment today, you have generalized moderate biofilm-induced gingivitis related to inadequate oral self-care and dietary habits that support plaque accumulation. You also are at an increased risk of developing caries due to frequent consumption of sugary beverages, sticky cariogenic foods, and frequent snacking between meals. And additionally, I am also concerned that you may be at an increased risk for periodontitis in the future. While periodontitis is not present at this time, factors such as inadequate oral self-care, a high sugary diet, and possible nutritional deficiencies can affect the body's abilities to fight infection and maintain overall health and healthy gum tissues. Would it be okay with you if I shared some information about gingivitis, cavities, and how nutrition play a role in your oral health?
Why not?
Great. So gingivitis is the earliest stage of gum disease, and it's caused by plaque accumulation around the teeth and gums. The bacteria in plaque irritate the gum tissue, causing redness, swelling, and bleeding. The good news is that gingivitis is completely reversible with professional cleaning and good oral hygiene maintained at home. Cavities develop when bacteria in plaque feed on sugars from food and drinks that produce acids and then damage the tooth surface. The more frequently sugary food and drinks are consumed throughout the day, the greater the risk of cavities because the teeth are exposed to acid much more often. When I was reviewing your diet diary, I noticed several sugary foods and beverages were consumed in between meals and over extended periods of time. For example, you mentioned that you were sipping pop every several hours on your first day, and then you were having sugary snacks while gaming. I also noticed that many of these foods were consumed in the evening and that you typically do not brush before bed, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So this increases the amount of time plaque and sugars remain on your teeth, which increases your risk of tooth decay.
That's interesting.
It is, isn't it? So another concern that I have after reviewing your diet diary and considering some of the symptoms that you reported, like fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and feeling cold. I think you also mentioned muscle weakness and increased hair loss. So what I think is that you may be experiencing some nutritional deficiencies. Nutrition plays an important role in maintaining not only your overall health, but also the health of your gums and supporting tissues. When the body doesn't receive adequate nutrients, the immune system is not functioning effectively, if you will, making it more difficult to fight infection and heal properly. This is important because poor nutrition can increase the risk of periodontal disease and its progression over time. Unlike gingivitis, which only affects the gum and it's completely reversible, periodontitis affects all the structures that support the teeth, including the periodontal ligaments, which are like the fibers that support the teeth into the socket, and the alveolar bone, which is basically your jawbone supporting your teeth. So once this damage occurs, it cannot be reversed. So while I cannot diagnose you with nutritional deficiencies, some of the symptoms that you've described, combined with the dietary patterns that I've noticed on your diary, this may suggest that improving your nutrition and hydration may benefit both your overall health and your oral health. I would also encourage you to discuss these symptoms with your family physician. Now, I'm curious, have you ever looked at Canada's food guide?
No, I haven't.
That's okay. Let's take a look together if that's okay with you. Let me just open it over here. Sorry. Takes forever to turn it on. Oh, Lord almighty. Here it is. So, I'm just showing you the plate over here. So Canada's food guide, recommends that you make half your plate fruits and vegetables. A quarter will be protein, and the remaining quarter would be whole grain foods. And they're also recommending that you make water your drink of choice. So when I was comparing your diet diary to this recommendations, I noticed some strengths. For instance, you're consuming protein every day, which is eggs, meat, Greek yogurt, and cheese. This is awesome. However, I did notice that fruits and vegetables are limited throughout the day. Whole grain foods are not consumed very often, and a significant portion of your calories are coming from sugary drinks and candy and other processed foods. Another recommendation from Canada's Food Guide is not only to make water your primary beverage, but to try and have more cooked meals, home cooked meals. Looking at your diary, I saw that a lot of your fluid intake is coming from sugar beverage, as I've mentioned before. And a lot of the time you're doing takeouts. So not only do these contribute to cavity risk, but they may also be contributing to your dehydration. Now, earlier when we were talking, you mentioned that your urine is usually a dark yellow. This can be a sign that your body's not getting enough water. Adequate hydration is important because saliva helps protect the teeth, neutralize acid, and reduce the risk of cavities. So you want to keep your mouth moist by drinking water as often as you can. Now, if we make a few small changes, like increasing fruits and vegetables and drinking more water, and reducing the frequency of sugary snacks and beverages, we could have a positive impact on both your oral health and your overall health.
I don't really like the taste of plain water. Is there anything we can do about that?
That's actually very common. You're not the only one there. I think that one thing you could do is try make water a little bit more pleasing to you. Maybe you can add like lemon, limes, berries, any kind of fruit that can add flavor to it without, adding sugar. Do you think that's doable?
We can give it a try.
Great. Another thing that I noticed is that your snacks are things like chocolate bars, brownies, Skittles, donuts, Nutella. All of those are delicious things. I get it. I love them too. I'm not going to tell you don't eat them because that's not realistic. I want to encourage you to have them less often, and whenever possible, consume them with meals rather than by themselves in between meals, if that makes sense. For snacks between meals, I really like what you did on your first date, which was Greek yogurt with banana. Maybe we can also add other fruit, cheese, nuts, seeds, or other vegetables with hummus. I think those are healthier choices, and they're less likely to contribute to cavities. Now, of all the things that we've discussed today, which change do you feel more confident about starting with?
I do want to eat better. I just don't know what to eat. And cooking takes so much time.
Oh, I completely understand. And you're not alone there. The good news is that eating healthier doesn't necessarily mean spending hours cooking or completely changing everything you're eating right now. You're already eating healthy foods. Like I said, you're eating eggs, you're eating meat, Greek yogurt, avocado. So rather than focusing on taking those foods away, I want to encourage you to think about what you can add. So for example, adding a piece of fruit to your breakfast would be adding vegetables during lunchtime or dinner. Or again, replacing your sugary snacks with water or flavored water with fruits, preferably. If you could choose 1 or 2 goals to work over the next few weeks, what do you think would be the easiest for you?
I think I could probably drink more water and try to add some fruit during the day.
I think those are excellent goals, and they're really realistic. They're achievable, and they would have benefits, again, for your overall health and your oral health. Now, looking at everything that we discussed today, What do you think is the biggest areas that you could improve?
Probably my overall oral health and my overall health, eating better and having better oral habits.
I would agree. Is there anything else that stands out for you?
No, I think you've handled it well.
Great. Now where do you think you want to start with? What would be the easiest thing for you?
Probably drinking more water.
Great. So like let's make that our first goal. What do you think would help you achieve this goal?
I think your suggestion of adding fruits to my water to give it more natural flavor would be beneficial.
Awesome. And maybe you can try carrying a water bottle with you so you drink water instead of buying sugary drinks. I think that overall, these are very realistic and achievable goals. I would like to touch base again with you next time we see each other and see where you're at. So to summarize today, what we've discussed, we review your oral health findings and how your diet is contributing to your risk of gingivitis, cavities, and periodontitis. We also reviewed Canada's food guides and made some recommendations. And we identified some areas of improvement. We decided that we're gonna increase your water intake. You're gonna try to have more fruits and vegetables every day, and you're gonna try and choose healthier snacks and reduce your frequent intake of sugary drinks. Now, based on our discussion today, I feel that you were very receptive to my recommendations and you have identified realistic goals. Even small changes can have a positive impact. Now, do you have any questions or concerns or anything you would like to say before we...
No, I think that would be it. Thank you.
Great. So again, thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful weekend.
You as well.